Hi there. It's been a couple of weeks. I do have to first say I apologize for not being able to post anything last week. You guys recall from my previous post that I was going on vacation, and when I got back, I essentially was catching up. I was unable to place a new post. With that said, I want to jump in right away and talk about quickly what I did over the last couple of weeks, but really a particular lesson I want to share with all of you. I've been focusing a lot on doing follow-ups and building some of the content that I need for the education purposes, essentially talking about digital transaction management, digital transformation to local business groups and colleges. So that's going well. But something came up as a result of a lot of interactions that I've had with a product company that I want to focus on. On my blog, themark.com, I've written a blog that's associated with this video that speaks about what is luck. It starts with a quote from Seneca, and then I get into what that really means, essentially looking at particular skills, niche services, and connecting that with finding the proper opportunities, seeking those opportunities out, really seeking application of your specialized skills. But the question is, how do you recognize opportunities? How do you recognize when, in fact, your specialized skills are needed? And my answer to that is that you have to have a lot of conversations about a lot of different things, and you have to have genuine interest in people. And here's what I mean by this. Someone actually once told me this, not too long ago, but I think it's very apropos. It's a question of really setting up friendships. It's when you're genuinely interested in somebody, about them personally and professionally, that you become curious about everything that they do. Whether it's what's happening within their personal life with their kids, or their kids' school, or what they're doing with their house, or what's happening at their work. And then be genuinely interested in helping them address some of the challenges, needs that they may have. They may turn around and say they're doing some new construction work at their house, and that they're doing new flooring, and they're looking for somebody who's dependable. And you may think, oh wait, I worked with somebody fairly recently and they did a great job. Why don't I just refer them to you? Or they may say that they're having problems with their work and there are certain challenges that has come up, and you have to think creatively about how to address it. And it may be that you don't address it directly. Maybe you refer them to someone. But it may also be that you actually turn around and find an opportunity where your particular skill set is actually what they're looking for. And the example that has led me to realize this again fairly recently is what I've been doing with a product company. I've been having a lot of conversations with a product company over the years because of having worked with them in the past, and just the personal relationships that I've had with a lot of folks there. And more recently, I've been talking to a number of the folks in the company about what's going on with them. I mean, one of them folks I was speaking with was telling me about how they're having real challenges at home because they're traveling so much for work, and how they're thinking about potentially moving more centrally in the U.S. so that their travel is at least less time, even if the number is still the same. We've talked about politics, what's going on in the country, in the U.S. right now, or about their company politics and some of the challenges there, not meeting some of their sales numbers, how they made sure they were able to meet their sales numbers. So a lot of different factors. And then after hearing a lot of this recently, and then ruminating, letting it sink in a little bit, I realized that there was something that we could potentially do for these folks. They had actually told me that they were having some problems with hiring. They can't hire fast enough, and they have so much business that they're looking for someone essentially to be able to address those particular needs. Now, they didn't come out and specifically say this, but they were talking about the pain of, gosh, I can't find the right people. So after thinking about it, I thought, well, wait a second. We don't have that type of relationship with them professionally. We don't have, for example, an agreement to provide any services through them. But what if we do take on sort of a staff aug contract with them? We don't do that with anybody else, but why not with these folks? We certainly have the skill set to be able to do that. We certainly have the expertise within the space that they're in where we can help them. And so I approached one of their senior managers about this, proposed coming in and providing 2 or 3 different folks to be able to help them out in the interim until they find some people that they can put in those particular roles and fulfill the need. And they were open to it. As a matter of fact, the conversations I've had with them over the last couple of weeks have resulted in a new contract that we're going to be signing for work that should start in September. So what's the secret for being able to find the right opportunity? How do you find it? You have genuine interest in people, and you have a lot of conversations the same way that you do with somebody that you've been friends with for 15, 20, 30 years. You break bread with them, you invite them over to the house, you have drinks with them, you talk about everything within their life, not just what you're selling to them. So, and then the more important piece, I guess, in all of this conversation is that you must also keep yourself flexible. You must also be willing to zag when you intended to zig. So be willing to think a little bit creatively about how you can address someone's needs. So that's how I believe you can find the right opportunities for your specific skill sets. All right, until next time, talk to you guys.